Hello everyone, welcome back to Ask Stacy and Amanda. I am here on the campus of NDSU today. We are talking with Betsy Carter again. We visited with Betsy, I don't know, was it last spring already? The time just flies by. And then we've got Alex here as well. Today we are going to be talking about studying skills and tutor options on campus. So Betsy is the Assistant Director for Learning Services, correct? Yep. And Alex, you're a student here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are a tutor as well,
Yes.
right? So what areas do you tutor?
Engineering courses from basic algebra all the way through Calc 4, and then for engineering courses, just kind of those starter ones, statics, dynamics, and just kind of those base level engineering courses.
Okay.
He's very busy.
Yeah, very busy. And you've got tutors in all sorts of the realm for everything here at the
Yeah,
campus,
we have about
right?
45 of
Yeah.
them that come from ACE specifically.
That's amazing. So really, we've got almost a month of school under the belts already. And so midterms are creeping up around the corner. So we just thought this would be a really good idea to talk about really developing those study skills and reaching out to a tutor. Sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating, not sure where to go or who to ask for a tutor, but we're going to visit about that today. These are going to be specific to NDSU, but typically all campuses and colleges will have an area that does have tutors. So definitely reach out to your specific college if you have questions. If you have specific questions for us today, you can leave them down below and we'll ask them as we go through this video as well. So I guess let's start by talking about, what do you think, Alex, I'll ask you.
Sure.
Since you're the student, what do you think would be maybe your top 3 to 5 best practice study skill habits that you think?
Well, for me, it kind of starts transitioning when you're going from high school to college because it's a lot different. I was a kid in high school where I could go home, get food, sit in front of the TV, do my homework, and still get A's. That was not the case my first semester in college.
Changes, right?
Absolutely. I had to start really kind of digging into the books. With different study habits, you kind of really need to find something that is going to work for you. So experiment with different things really helps a lot. Just for instance, listening to music, quiet rooms, dark rooms, those are all different kind of environments that you can test out. So definitely test out different environments and kind of experiment in things. Next thing I would say would probably be to find other people that have similar study habits or that like to do similar things.
Yep.
Because working in groups makes it a lot easier to get stuff done. And then you can also get different viewpoints from class.
Ideas off each other, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you guys can kind of really understand the course content a lot easier. And then probably the third thing that I would say is probably the biggest is just go somewhere like a tutoring center that is, the people are actually there to help you. They're there so that they can help you learn the subjects and not have to feel uncomfortable being in front of your professor. And so those things just really helped me from first semester through, this is my 5th semester now. I still go to tutoring center even if I'm not tutoring, but so yeah, those
Just
are
to get your work done?
just to get my work done. That's kind of the environment that I found most useful for me. I really like using whiteboards, and being an engineering student, we really need to use those whiteboards and kind of draw diagrams a lot of times. So being able to do that in my own space is really helpful.
Yeah.
And I'm also one of the kids that likes to listen to music. So if I can put earbuds in and we work on a whiteboard too, it's my favorite way to get my work done.
Yeah, absolutely. Just go to town and do it.
That's
and then
right.
if you go home, you're not tempted by other distractions
Exactly.
around the house too.
That's right.
So I guess for you, Alex, what would you say would be your best practice study skill yourself? Probably the headphones?
Probably the headphones. You definitely need to stay on top of your courses though. So time management and organization are big factors.
Yep.
Your schedule gets really, really busy in college, especially if you're used to kind of the high school schedule. You have time for sports, you have time for hanging out with friends. College is a little different. Your course load is way heavier. For each course, you should spend approximately probably 2 to 4 hours for every hour you're in class working on homework or studying, which really eats up a lot of your time when you're taking 18, 20 credits.
Yeah.
We know that our most successful students at NDSU do approach school like it is a full-time job. So
And that's what we visited about before too.
Yeah, so really figuring out like what are my classes, and then all the times in between, what am I going to do to fill that time with homework so that you can have time for personal stuff. You need to have that balance, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. So if you make your studies a priority, schedule those in first, and then pepper in some of the fun, because you can't go to school without the
No,
fun.
you need a little bit of
But
that
you've
too.
got, it's a huge commitment. College is a big commitment, with especially the investment as far as the financial investment piece. So you want to make sure you do the best you can there too. So I guess help me a little bit with like tutoring. If somebody wants to get tutoring, and there may be people out there watching this today too that are like, man, I'm really on the fence. I'm doing okay in school or in this certain class, but I would like a little bit of help. What do they do? How do they reach out and get tutoring?
At every institution, it's just a little bit different. My best advice for you is Google your university, whether that's MSU or UND or NDSU, and put in tutoring, and you're going to see something come up. At NDSU, we have all drop-in tutoring, so that essentially means that there aren't any appointments, there aren't any wait lists. You just look when a tutor is available and come in when they're there. So Alex is available throughout the week, different days and times. Students can come in for 15 minutes and ask him a quick question, or they can come the entire time he's there. And I think you do have some followers that come and find you.
Definitely.
Yeah, but the students shouldn't be worried to ask questions at all. We know that our best students are the ones that are utilizing our tutoring centers. In fact, you just heard a tutor saying that he comes in and gets help to do some of his work too. So you're surrounded by other people who are motivated to learn. It's better to come in early when you first start having a question rather than waiting until you're stressed and it's the last minute.
Absolutely.
It's really a comfortable environment too. Like some people kind of think that going into tutoring is going to be quite daunting, but really after your first time going in and getting that help, not only will you find people that are also there for the same subject you're working on, but the tutors there are very personable. We're not those people that kind of think that, we're smarter than you, this is how you should do things. No, we're going to work with you in your own way to help you learn, and we're going to try to find your way to teach you so that you can learn better.
Yeah, everyone has different learning ways, and that's definitely nice. And when we were visiting before we went live, you had made a comment, and that stuck with me too. It said something about, it's not only the students that are really struggling with classes. There's really good students that still use the tutoring center too, right?
Absolutely. Myself and I can think of one other tutor, Ethan. He's a mechanical engineering student. I think him and I have some of the most hours in ACE combined. Not only just tutoring, but our own studies as well. We're both in quite a few classes together as well. So a lot of times what will happen is I'll be tutoring and he'll come in, and then I can actually tutor something that he's in, or vice versa. And a lot of times we're just working together too. So even if you still have A's in all your classes, tutoring is still a great option to keep those A's.
Yeah. Very good point. Awesome. Well, any other pieces of advice before we sign off here today at all?
I think so. Just don't be afraid to get help with tutoring. It's less daunting than anyone thinks.
Right.
So it's,
you get to talk to really nice collaborators and other friendly students that have just been there and have just taken the class too. We love our professors. We want you to visit them, but sometimes it's nice to talk to somebody who's just been in your shoes.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you all for joining us today, and thank you, Betsy and Alex, for letting me come to campus again. If you guys have any specific questions for these guys, you can send them, you can direct message us and we can get them over to them, or you can reach out to them directly. If you have specific questions for your campus, like Betsy said, do some Google research, or, honestly, if you just don't know and you're on campus, stop in and ask someone and they will direct you to the right place. If you found this video helpful, like always, give it a thumbs up. You can share it if you think it's useful as well. We will be live next week with the U.S. Army. Amanda will be visiting with them about opportunities after high school as well. So I hope everyone has a fantastic week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.